Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. It is Tuesday. We've got 6 games here in the NBA that I'm running through. I've got best bets, Playa Props, and some picks here for you guys to go through. Also had about 3 best bets in the video that I put out last night, as I'm doing each and every night the night before games, putting out these projection videos, looking at all of the games on the slate. And now we're going right through the 3 p.m. Eastern video that I've got for you here as I give you guys these best bets and Playa Props. So if you would, subscribe to that page, continue to follow along. Don't miss out on any of the action as we're coming to you each and every day this season. Going to have a little break here, but we'll have the All-Star Game stuff as well for you this week. But I've put out a video with some best bets from that stuff, the dunk contest, the 3-point contest, maybe who's going to win the game, try to get a guess on this total. So if you want some All-Star action so that you don't have to miss out on betting this weekend coming up, definitely want to make sure to check that one out by subscribing to the page. I'll also tell you we've got college ball. We started putting soccer out with the Champions League up as well. So if you want to bet on soccer, you want to bet on college hoops as well, go ahead and jump in and check out those playlists. Burr Oak's doing a great job jumping on the channel with me and capping all that stuff for you guys. So let's get right into what we've got for Tuesday. Quick look at the back-to-backers that we've got here. Back end, 2 teams on the back end there, Milwaukee and Minnesota. But on the front end, it's kind of important to check out how many teams are going to be playing on Tuesday and Wednesday. We've got Boston at Brooklyn and then Brooklyn at Boston back-to-back here. Important stuff there because Kristaps Porzingis, I don't think he's going to play tonight. With Papa Al Horford ruled likely to play, I don't think that they've consistently, the Celtics have switched these guys back and forth when they play back-to-backs. One night Kristaps plays, one night Al Horford plays. It looks like Al Horford's getting night 1 on the road at Brooklyn, and Kristaps will likely play tomorrow night. If I had to guess, that's my guess based on the Al Horford news that he's playing, or most likely playing, like I said. So these are the predictions I'm putting out there. Not much to do with Detroit at LA. LA, maybe check out if AD or LeBron max play 28 minutes tonight. Maybe both of them play a maximum of 28 minutes. So I've got some bets that kind of play off of that here. Miami at Milwaukee and then Miami at Philly. Miami's depleted right now, so I think they just want to hobble into the break and not worry about either of these games, to be honest with you. Milwaukee needs that one a lot more, so I would definitely lean there. Philly might even be an upstart against Miami on the second leg of that back-to-back tomorrow night. So I'm fade Miami team right now. And then Orlando's taking OKC on before they take on the Knicks in Orlando. Both of those games at home for them. And then Phoenix is versus Sac and versus Detroit. Sac gets a rough deal of it at Phoenix and at Denver. Not a great way to limp into the All-Star break here. But let's get right into my first bet because I mentioned Jimmy Butler is out, as most of these Heat are out. We've got Butler out, we've got Tyler Rozier out, and we've got Duncan Robinson questionable. So there's points available for those who would like to come get them. And Jaime Jaquez here, we're going over 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists because of the fact that he is Jimmy Butler when Jimmy Butler is not in there. Plain and simple. Jaime Jaquez plays the same role. We've talked about this multiple times. I faded Jaime when Jimmy Butler came back from injury and his stats were still bloated. His lines were still bloated for these props that we were getting because of the fact that people hadn't really adjusted for he's not going to just play alongside Jimmy. It's just not possible. They do the exact same thing from the exact same places on the floor. So that's why with Jimmy in this season, he's got 27 minutes a game, 11 points, 3.5 boards. He's taken about 9 shots. Without Jimmy, 33 minutes a game, 15.8 points, about 16 there, and 4.4 boards. Also gets a bit more assists, shoots 11.8 field goals when Jimmy Butler is not in the game. So he's doing the bulk of his damage near the basket where Jimmy wants to play from. And that 5 to 12 foot range is a lot of where you're seeing Jaime shots come from. Taking a couple corner threes as well, and like a few above the break, but neither he nor Jimmy Butler shoot from above the break or really too many threes anyway, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't really expect him, if he's not in the corner, to be shooting too many threes. Not really worried about that because Milwaukee, from where this dude's going to be playing, a little bit more vulnerable. And in part, you see that with Giannis playing a bit more of that free safety defense. He's not really shutting down power forwards the same way that we might have seen in the past. They're only limiting power forwards about 15th and limiting them points per game and rebounds per game. So right in the middle of the pack, not like this is an area that they really just sort of hone in on and make sure that the other team can't do much from. So Jaime is a good bet here as my first one. I'm going to roll into the second one here. Jalen Duren, over 11.5 boards for him. You can also get over 12.5 boards for him at much better odds there, plus 105 on points bet. So we've got 1.5 units on Duren total here because I got the bet in on Caesar. Hopefully that's there in about 15-20 minutes when this video is up and you guys can still get an over 11.5 on Jalen Duren. But you can see I still like 12.5 boards, so you don't got to worry about it too much. Just I put a slightly fewer units on it, right? Half a unit instead of a full one to get back a little bit more on the juice there. But But the reasoning is very simple. This man is a monster, complete boards monster. Looks like Dwight Howard from back in the Orlando Magic days for Dwight, honestly. 23 rebound chances per game over his last 5. He's coming off an 18 rebound game. I think he had 28 rebound chances in that game, and he's just down there. He's just gobbling it up and taking up a ton of space. In the last 5 games, he is the reason that the Detroit, and I'll give Oscar Thompson, Pogo Sticks, has been back in there for a few more minutes over the last 5 as well, back up to about 27, 28 minutes for Oscar Thompson. I would also consider some rebounding for him. He and Jalen Duren here are the main reasons that Detroit is 3rd best in their rebound percentage over their last 5 there. The Lakers are allowing the 3rd most rebounds per game to centers, and they just haven't been a very good rebounding team outside of Anthony Davis and obviously LeBron when he's really honed in on getting those rebounds. But they've had the 10th worst rebound percentage over their last 5 on the season, bottom half of the league rebounding team, really bottom 10. And they're just giving up a ton of boards on both sides of the floor. So if they're going to be missing shots at all, Duren's going to eat those up. And on the offensive board, they're going to have a tough time keeping him off of those. We'll see between AD and LeBron. Like I said, one of them might sit. Both of them, or at least one of them, likely to play less than 30 minutes, around 28 minutes. So that leaves some opportunity open for Jalen Duren with a really weak down low, with really weak reserves in terms of backup bigs for these Lakers right now. So speaking of the Lakers, though, we're going to stick in this game and go to best bet number 3 here on the day with D'Angelo Russell. We're taking over 24.5 PA. And this is predicated a little bit on getting ahead of, is LeBron going to play? Is AD going to play? And how much? I normally just say they both play even when they're questionable, but this is the front end of the back-to-back for them, and Utah is tomorrow. So Utah is probably a game they care about a lot more than beating this Detroit team at home. It's a little bit of a trap game as well with that 12-point spread for Detroit, so keep an eye on that. But without AD and without LeBron, this is a good number for D'Lo, honestly. Without AD this season, 24 points and assists per game. Without LeBron, 31. And LeBron would be amazing to get ahead of. See, it's almost like trying to just get ahead of a stock. And if this stock right now is super low because LeBron might play, if LeBron goes out, this stock soars in value and price. And so you really got to get it early. Problem is you don't know exactly if LeBron's going to play or not, how much he's going to play. So I just take the points and assists, because even with LeBron out there, he's still at about 17 points per game and about 5.5 assists. Without LeBron out there, like I said, 20 points per game, more than 10 assists. So 20 and a half and 10 and a half is what he's averaging without LBJ this season. So it's like a pretty stark contrast. Either way, Detroit's not good exactly from where D'Lo is going to be playing above the break. They allow the 3rd most threes made from above the break, and they also allow the 2nd most points per game to point guards in general. It's really where they're weakest. Jaden Ivey honestly hasn't done much for them up top. Cade has allowed other point guards who are much quicker than him to really get by him. He often is guarding forwards, to be honest with you. Cade Cunningham not really trying to play too much defense on dudes like D'Lo. But either way, the assists are available as well. Detroit allows a ton of assists. I believe it's the 5th most or 3rd most assists to point guards as well. So they're just giving up everything from everywhere. And like I said, with LBJ out, this would be a lock, and D'Lo is good for a double-double at that point. So if you really wanted to hedge the LeBron potentially being out or not playing that many minutes, or not even really trying potential here, then you would go ahead and just take D'Lo maybe on a double-double sprinkle for close to, I believe, 8 or 9-1 on your money there. So that'd be a really, really solid bet for him if LBJ doesn't play. Final bet here, I don't have a line for it because the cowards at the books won't give us Simone Fontecchio props, which I kind of get, because I don't know how you would cap this dude right now as he's about to play his 2nd game with Detroit. He had a 7.5 point prop against the Clippers and scored 20. So I just slotting him right into this Bojan Bogdanovic role. And if that was the case, Bojan would be at about 19.5 points, right? Maybe 17 to 20.5 points, depending on who else was in for Detroit, etc. Now we've got a pretty understood lineup, I would say. I mean, look, it's been one game. They played one game. Simone got 32 minutes, 20 points, 19 shots from the floor. 7 of those shots were above the break threes. He's Bojan now. He just came in, new team, new Simone, kind of same old Bojan role, though. It's just into this. You play on the wing and you play up top. Not really as much playmaking for Simone as you got from Bojan, but you get the shooting and you get a little bit more down low as well. Simone is definitely he's like 6'10". He's a big dude who had 9 boards in this last game as well and has averaged about 5.5 boards on the season. Now he comes in. It's not like I really want to focus on rebounds for him because the Clippers shot so terribly in that last game. Both Simone and Oscar Thompson and Jalen Duren all had really good rebounding games because there were a lot of rebounds in that one. This one might be a little bit higher scoring, could be a little bit faster, definitely will be faster paced as well than that one against the Clippers recently. But either way, like this is just a good spot for him. I've got this. If they want to bump it up 2 points to 9.5, which is still like a pretty big jump, like you might see this up to 11.5. I can't see it at more than 11.5 points, and I still like it there. But at the 9.5, if it opens at that, I'm going to get it. So stay tuned for this. I'll be jumping in the comments and on Twitter if you want to follow along there. And obviously, one more reminder to subscribe to the page so that it's easy to come right back to this video and jump in the comments. I'll be pinning exactly how I'm playing Simone Fontecchio as soon as the babies, we'll call them little boy babies at the sports books, actually give us props for Simone. All right, that is what I've got for you guys here. Let's look at how we did. Actually, wait, let me look at the best bet summary for you guys. 6 units to win 5.3. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is the first bet at 20.5 PRA over that. Jalen Duren, we've got 2 bets on him, a full unit on over 11.5 boards and a half a unit on over 12.5 boards. D'Lo, over 24.5 PA, points and assists combined, minus 115. And Simone, as soon as we get Fontecchio props, we're going over 9.5 points. We're going over up to over 11.5 points. And we'll see what that looks like. Might be able to get some good juice on potentially a ladder as well. So you want to stick around in those comments. Like I said, I'll be coming back there. And Twitter, that's going to be an easy place to make sure that you get an alert or at least see that on the timeline. So other 3 bets that I made last night, want to be clear here. We got Miami and Milwaukee with an under 226.5. Sac in Phoenix, we got under 245.5. And Sac at Phoenix, we also have Phoenix to win that game by 4.5 points at least, because just it's not a great matchup for the Kings, and the way that the Kings are playing defense on the road, not good offense, etc. I do think that the Phoenix Suns here should be live to win this one by 5 points. Okay, a quick look at how we did do on Monday yesterday. I incorrectly put out initially that I got 6-2 last night. It was 5-3. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Looking at NBA.com stats page in the box score for that Bucks game, I saw that Brook Lopez had had 12. That was his plus minus was plus 12, not 12 points that he scored. NBA.com stats, can you just move the points to the front of the box score? Why is it all the way at the end next to plus minus? That's besides the point. 5-3 plus 0.7 units. We'll still take that. 1.1 units that we lost on the Playa Props. Look at the sides and totals here, y'all. Really carrying us the last 2 nights. We are 7-0 on the sides and totals over the last 2. Plus 2.3 units really saved us here. The parlay with Trey, I was so worried about it. I knew I shouldn't have played the Hawks money line there. It was such an obvious moment that the Hawks should win that game, that it was like, of course the Hawks aren't going to win this game. They don't win games they're supposed to win or cover when they're supposed to cover. Freaking losers. So we move on to how we've done this season. 44-22 over the last 15 days, plus 16.7 units. That's a thing of beauty, man. That's why we're at 23.3 units up on the season now as a whole. Still up 33.7 on those props. And on the sides and totals, we have come all the way back to 500. Still down 3.7 units at 500, because usually those are about minus 110, minus 120, 115, etc. So you have to win about 55% of the time in order to really make good money betting sides and totals. On props, about 5 to 10% ROI is what you're looking for. We're feeling really good about that with the 33.7 units. So that's all the time that I have for you guys. Continue to follow along if you would. Subscribe to that page so you can check out everything I'm bringing you each and every day. Projections the night before, videos the day of with those best bets and player props, college basketball, UCL, UEFA Champions League as well, all live on the site right now on the YouTube page. So make sure you're checking that out. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. I will talk to you soon. And until then, happy betting.